Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast.
Today we're looking at PO8 technologies. The big question is it a good time to buy now?
We want to hear from you. Subscribe, like, and comment to support the show. And if there's a specific company you want us to look into, leave it in the comments below.
So let's get into the analysis of PO8 technologies. This company is really interesting because it sits right where AI meets, well, the speed of light.
Photonics, right, using light for data.
Exactly. PO8 is trying to be a leader in photonics integration, basically using light to move data way faster than electricity can.
And their main thing is this, PO8 optical interposer. What is that, really?
Yeah, that's their core platform. Think of it like this. AI needs tons of chips talking to each other instantly, right?
Massive parallel processing, yeah. Needs super fast connections.
Right, so the interposer, it's kind of their secret sauce. It swaps out complex electrical wiring for these tiny, super fast light channels directly on the chip level.
So it's like building a fiber optic highway right onto the silicon.
Pretty much. Seamless integration of electronics and photonics. And that matters because in the AI race, friction is the enemy. You need data moving without slowdowns.
Okay, so they're not just selling, like, widgets. They're selling a fundamental speed upgrade for AI networks, hyperscale clouds, that kind of infrastructure.
Exactly. And industry folks are watching this unique approach. Some think it could make them a leader in optical interconnects down the line.
It's a classic bet on the infrastructure needed for the whole AI boom, basically.
And that tech promise connects directly to the big news right now, their balance sheet. It's completely transformed.
That's the immediate catalyst, isn't it? The money they just raised.
It's the biggest reason we're talking about them now, honestly, the sheer amount.
We saw a few rounds, right? Over the last, 3 months? August, October?
Yeah, it was quite a run. Started with $25 million in a non-brokered offering.
Non-brokered means they found the investors themselves. Less fees.
Exactly. More efficient. Show some confidence, maybe.
And then the bigger deals followed.
Right. October saw a U.S. $75 million strategic investment. And then the headline grabber, a U.S. $150 million direct offering, oversubscribed too.
Wow, oversubscribed, so add that all up.
Their cash on hand is now over U.S. $300 million. That's a huge amount for a company that, wasn't exactly flush with cash before.
And that money's earmarked, right? Not just sitting there.
Oh, yeah. R&D scale up, expanding their light source business manufacturing, and, interestingly, potential acquisitions. They've bought themselves a serious runway.
So, okay, that capital raise isn't just cash, it's market validation, wouldn't you say?
I think so. But let me play devil's advocate for a second. Is it real validation or just hype money chasing AI?
Fair question. What makes you lean towards validation?
Well, that $150 million raise, like I said, oversubscribed. And it brought in 2 new major institutional investors.
Big funds. The serious money.
Right. Institutional players, they usually do their homework. They're not typically just throwing darts. They likely believe the tech is real and maybe the stock's undervalued for its long-term AI potential.
And it's not just investors believing. They've got customer validation, too. Actual orders.
Yes, that's crucial. Sources mention over $5 million in orders for their newer engines. We're talking the 1.6 terabit and 800 gig Infinity optical engines.
Those are the speeds needed for next-gen AI data centers.
Absolutely. So it confirms they're in the mix for the actual hardware being built now. The interposer isn't just a lab project, it's getting designed in.
Okay, so let's recap the bull case. You've got potentially groundbreaking tech, validated by serious investors and initial customer orders, and now a $300 million war chest. Sounds compelling.
It does, but, and this is a big but, we need that reality check. Every early-stage tech company faces this.
The risk. Where's the big risk that could just sink this whole thing?
It boils down to execution and, frankly, the almost total lack of sales right now. Despite all that cash, PO8 is still very much an early-stage, high-growth story.
So let's look at the numbers. The trailing 12 months, the TTM figures.
Okay, prepare yourself, because they are stark.
Hit us with it. This is the core disconnect, right?
They're deeply unprofitable. Net income for the last year is negative $53.92 million.
Over $50 million in losses. That's a serious burn rate.
It is. Expected for R&D-heavy tech, but still intense. Now, compare that burn rate to the revenue.
This is the jaw dropper, I suspect.
TTM revenue is reported at just $41,427.
Wait, 41,000, not million.
$41,000 in revenue against over $53 million in losses.
Wow. Okay. That gap practically screams execution risk. You could buy a nice car with their annual revenue.
It's a stunning difference. And that revenue figure is actually down sharply year over year, over 91%.
So the big question for anyone investing is, can that new $300 million bridge this massive gap? Can it keep them afloat long enough to actually ramp up sales and prove the model?
That's exactly it. If management can't turn the tech validation and those initial orders into real, significant revenue growth soon, well, that $300 million will start to vanish pretty quickly.
Failure to execute. That's the main danger. And who are they up against trying to scale? It's not an empty field.
No, they're competing with giants. Broadcom, NVIDIA, companies with massive manufacturing scale and established sales channels, who are also developing integrated solutions.
So POIT needs to ramp up manufacturing perfectly, deliver on these high-speed orders, and keep costs competitive.
It's a definite tightrope walk. No room for error, really.
Okay, let's pivot to the technicals. Stocks like this, high risk, high reward, often trade on momentum and news, maybe more than fundamentals, short term. What's the chart telling us?
Yeah, volatility is super high, as you'd expect, around 16.6%, typical for early-stage AI-related tech. But the trend since the funding news has been strongly positive.
Saw a big jump recently.
Yep, over 13% surge after a partnership announcement. That momentum is carrying it.
And it's trading above key averages.
It is. Healthily above the 50-day moving average, which is around $6.25, and importantly, above the 200-day, which is about $5.05.
Trading above the 200-day usually signals a positive long-term trend, despite the daily swings, right?
Generally, yes. It suggests underlying strength.
So for someone watching closely, maybe trading it, what are the levels to watch right now? Support and resistance.
Support seems pretty solid, around $7.35 to $7.40. That's been the recent floor. Resistance, the level they need to break through to really climb, is near $8.30.
And there's some interesting quantitative forecasting out there, too, suggesting potential upside.
Yeah, the models are quite bullish short-term.
Yeah.
They suggest something like a 90% probability the stock stays between roughly $7.29 and $11.59 over the next 3 months.
Wow, that $11.59 highlights pretty significant potential upside if things go right.
It does, but it relies heavily on upcoming catalysts playing out favorably. It makes the next quarter feel more like a sprint than a marathon investment.
And there are specific dates for this sprint, key catalysts coming up fast.
Absolutely. 4 big ones to watch in the next 3 months. First up, November 14th, Q3 earnings.
Crunch time. Management has to show some real sales traction, provide guidance on cash burn, no more just talk.
Exactly. Hard numbers needed. Then, December 1st, major ETF rebalancing.
The index funds reshuffling. If POIT meets criteria for key Nasdaq or AI ETFs, that could mean automatic buying pressure.
Could be significant flows. Then, jumping into next year, January 10th, the 13F filings become public.
This is where we see who actually bought the stock, right? Which big institutions came in during those raises?
Precisely. It confirms or refutes that institutional validation story. We'll know the names.
Knowing who's holding can definitely impact sentiment.
And beyond those hard dates, you've got the speculative stuff bubbling away. Rumors keep popping up about a big supply deal.
Like with a major hyperscaler, a Tier 1 cloud provider.
Yeah, a North American operator. Landing a design win like that would be absolutely massive, a game changer for revenue overnight.
And the M&A talk is still around too, makes sense.
It does. A company with specialized critical tech, like the optical interposer. It looks like a prime target for a bigger semiconductor or cloud company wanting to own more of their AI stack.
Vertical integration. Plus, the recent funding gives them a stronger valuation, maybe makes them less of an easy, cheap target.
Definitely adds to the negotiation power, and maybe the volatility too.
Okay, let's try and wrap this all together. What's the overall consensus here for listeners trying to make sense of POIT?
Well, the analyst sentiment is technically a strong buy, but, there's a big asterisk there.
Based on the tech potential and the cash runway?
Mostly, yes.
Yeah.
But the price targets aren't super aggressive yet. It feels like analysts are saying, we believe in the story, but show us the money. They're waiting for revenue to catch up.
Okay, so what's the final thesis? How should someone think about POIT Technologies right now?
Look, it has a bullish rating, let's say maybe an 8 out of 10, but it's very specific. It seems best suited for active traders who understand the upcoming catalysts and can play that volatility over the next quarter.
But there's also longer-term potential.
Yes. Simultaneously, there's definitely potential for multi-year growth. If they execute and if their tech gets widely adopted in AI optics, it's that classic high-risk, high-reward setup. The risk is almost purely operational now.
That execution risk really is the key factor, isn't it?
It is. I mean, the core trade-off is crystal clear. PO8 used that money brilliantly to buy themselves time, a significant runway. The liquidity clock got pushed way back.
But a new clock started ticking.
Exactly, the execution clock. Management has to convert the tech promise, the validation, the orders into real, substantial revenue growth soon.
And the next couple of earnings reports will be critical indicators.
They'll be huge. They'll either confirm the path or dramatically increase the perceived risk. So for you, the listener thinking long-term, the question is, even if they hit their targets in the next 18 months, is this specific tech truly indispensable? Will it survive the inevitable shakeouts and corrections in the AI market? That's the multi-year bet you're placing.